The stars outside the ship were still, quiet. Cold. Captain Reed Carter opened his eyes. The lights above him blinked slowly. White, then red, then off. He sat up. His head was heavy. His mouth was dry. He was in the med bay of his ship, the SS Valor. But something was wrong. Too quiet. He looked around. No nurses. No doctors. No sound, just the low hum of the power system. The ship was not fully dead, but it felt empty. "Computer," he said. His voice cracked. No answer. Ship status. Still. Nothing. He got off the bed and walked slowly. The hallway outside was dark. Emergency lights blinked on the floor. Red, red, red. He touched the wall to steady himself. The ship's air felt thin. Breathing was harder than it should be. He reached the bridge. No one was there. 12 people were on the crew when they left. Mars, pilot, engineer, navigator, medical officer, and more. Now, the seats were empty. No alarms, no messages, just silence. He sat in the captain's chair. His hands shook as he activated the console. "Ship log," he whispered. A strange message popped up on the screen. It was not in English. Letters and symbols he had never seen before blinked in green. The screen flashed. One symbol repeated again and again. It looked like an eye, watching. Unknown transmission detected. The computer finally said, "Read." Leaned forward, "Play it." A voice came through. Low, hissing, alien. He couldn't understand the words. But the tone was clear. It was laughing. Then the message ended. And the symbol changed to a timer, counting down from 24 hours. "Where's the crew?" he shouted. No reply. He pulled up the ship cameras. Most were black. A few showed blurry footage. One showed the mess hall chairs thrown, food trays on the floor. Another showed blood. Just a few drops. Not much, but enough. He felt a chill run down his spine. Then he noticed something strange. A dog tag on the floor next to the captain's chair. He picked it up. It wasn't human. It was made of black metal, warm to the touch. It had no name. Just the same strange eye symbol from the screen. He dropped it suddenly. The screen flickered again. This time a new image appeared, a short video. It showed his crew. All of them, lying on the floor in the cargo bay. A glowing purple circle opened above them, like a portal. Tall shadows stepped out, not robots, not human, something in between. One of them pointed at the crew. They floated up, helpless. Their bodies vanished into the portal. The last frame showed one crew member waking, up midair, screaming as he disappeared into the light. Then darkness. The video ended. "Who are they?" Reed whispered. He checked the ship log again. The last entry was from 2 days ago. "Cargo delivered to station E9, preparing for return." That was normal then. Nothing. It was like time stopped. He moved to the engineering room. Maybe the answers were there? On the way, he passed a broken panel. Sparks flew. On the wall, someone had written something in red. They came from the silence. He stopped. That handwriting. It was from Lila, his second in command. He knew her writing anywhere. She had left this message in a hurry. He reached the engineering room. It was empty, except small blinking light on the control panel. Pressed it. A voice spoke. It was Leela's captain. "If you hear this, we're gone. Something took us. Not pirates. Not machines. Something else. They're hunting humans. Studying us. Please," the message cut out. Then silence again. Reed sat down. His hands were shaking. His crew was taken. Alive, maybe? But by who and why? He stared at the alien dog tag again. Then the timer on the main screen blinked. Again. 23 hours, 7 minutes, and 15 seconds it was counting down. To what? Reed stood up. His fear turned into something else now. Anger. They took his people. He was going to get them back? He walked to the weapon locker. picked up a plasma rifle. "Nova," he said. A voice replied from the walls. "Robotic.com. AI system Nova online. Find out where that signal came from. Processing." The screen changed. One planet appeared. BRELAX-9. Coordinates locked. Reed looked at the planet. Far unknown. Dangerous. He smiled. "Just a little. They messed with the wrong species," he said. Red Carter stood on the bridge of SS Valor, staring at the screen. The alien planet's name blinked slowly. BRELAX-9. The ship was still half dead. Lights flickered. Systems glitched. But the AI Nova was back online and working. "Are you sure this is where the signal came from?" Reed asked. Nova replied. "Yes, Captain." Signal source confirmed. "Origin, Brelex 9. Hostile zone. Unknown lifeforms detected." Reed took a deep breath. His crew was out there.
Alive.
Maybe. But taken by something not human, he wasn't going to wait. "Set course," he said. The ship shook slightly as the engines powered up. The stars shifted. The planet was many light hours away. The journey would take time. Nova activated an energy boost enough to push the half-broken ship forward as they flew through deep space. Reed sat in the captain's chair, eyes on the screen. He couldn't sleep, couldn't rest. His people were somewhere in the dark. 2 hours later, the ship's console beeped. "Captain," Nova said. "Decrypted more of the alien signal." "Play it," Reed said. The screen lit up again with strange symbols. But this time, some of them made sense. Nova had translated part of the alien message. Specimens captured. Phase 1 complete. Human minds, stronger than expected. Emotions, valuable. Memory units uploaded. Continue extraction. Reed clenched his fists. They weren't just studying. His crew, they were using them. Emotions, memory units. He repeated their, inside their heads. Nova added, "It seems the aliens are extracting human thoughts, dreams, and fears. Possibly for entertainment or for learning." Reed stood up. "We're not animals, we're not data. They're going to regret this." The lights flickered again. Suddenly the transmission restarted, but this time something new appeared. Video it showed a huge alien arena, not made of metal, but of living stone. The walls moved like they were breathing. In the center, a cage made of purple energy. Inside it, one of his crew members light. Leela, she was standing, awake, eyes wide. She was shouting something, but there was no sound in the video. Then a blinding light flashed and she disappeared. Then, the screen went black. Reed stared at the empty screen. That wasn't a memory. It was live. "Pause," Reed said. He rewound the video and zoomed in on the corner. There, in alien numbers, was a time stamp. This happened 20 minutes ago. He said, "They're still alive." Suddenly an alarm rang. Warning, external signal detected. Unknown code, not safe. Reed looked at Nova. "What is it?" "Another transmission," Nova replied. "But this one is different. It's not a message. It's a challenge." Duh. A new line of alien text appeared. "You want them back? Come and try." Then the screen changed again. A map appeared of BRELAX-9. The planet had many zones. Jungle zones, machine zones, lava zones. But in the center, marked in red, was a giant area called the core zone. Reed leaned in. "Is that where they're being held?" "Most likely," said Nova. "It is the heart of their operations. All signals point there." "But it's a trap, isn't it?" Reed asked. "Definitely," said Nova. Reed walked to the weapons locker. He pulled out a small laser pistol, a combat knife, and a memory chip, the one Leela gave him before the mission started. "Just in case. Trap or not," he said. "I'm going." Hours later, Breloxinen came into view. It was a massive planet. Half covered in jungle, half covered in metal. Reed stared at the world on the screen. Strange flying beasts flew across green skies. The clouds were red. The surface was alive with movement. "I don't see any landing zones," Reed said. "There are none," Nova replied. "Surface defenses are active. We will be shot down if we get too close. Then we crash," Reed said. "You heard me," Take us down. Full speed. I'll jump out if I have to. You might die. Reed smiled. They already tried to kill my crew. I'm not afraid to die. The ship began shaking violently as they neared the atmosphere. Red lights flashed. Engines failed. Plasma shots fired from the planet's surface. Boom. The ship took a hit. The screen cracked. Smoke filled the bridge. Now Reed yelled. He jumped into the escape pod. The pod shot out of the ship, heading straight for the surface. As he fell through the clouds, he saw giant machines walking across the land, alien towers pulsing with purple energy, creatures made of metal and flesh, and somewhere, his crew, he gritted his teeth. Hang on, Lila, I'm coming. The pod crashed. Hard, everything went black. The core zone trembled. Captain Reed Carter and Lila stood shoulder to shoulder, staring at the thing walking toward them. It wasn't just a machine, it was a monster. 10 feet tall, thick armor, no eyes, no face. Only a glowing mouth filled with sharp lights. Its arms were like blades. Its feet cracked the ground with every step. The Guardian. Nova's voice came through Reed's wrist device. That is a defense unit, designed to erase threats inside the core. It cannot be reasoned with. Lila gripped her plasma rifle.
Oh, what
do we do? Reed aimed his pistol. We survive. The Guardian moved fast, too fast for something its size. Whoosh. It swung its right arm like a blade. Reed ducked just in time. Clang. Lila fired, hitting its chest. Sparks flew, but the creature didn't stop. It grabbed a piece of metal from the ground and threw it like a spear. Reed pushed Lila out of the way. The metal crashed behind them, exploding on impact. Split up, Reed shouted. They ran in different directions. Forcing the Guardian to choose, it turned toward Lila. She jumped behind a glowing pillar. The Guardian charged. Now, Nova. Red. Yelled. Nova activated the pulse beacon on Reed's belt. Shockwave hit the Guardian from behind. BZZZZT. The machine staggered. Lila popped out from cover and fired again, this time at its legs. Sparks flew again. It roared a low, deep sound that wasn't a voice, but a warning. Then, something strange happened. The walls of the core zone moved. They shifted, bending like they were watching. The ground beneath Reed opened slightly, revealing something glowing below. Trap zone opening, Nova warned. We must finish this quickly. More are coming. Reed spotted a broken support beam nearby. Sharp, heavy, he ran toward it, dodging another blast from the Guardian's energy cannon. Lila, he shouted, get ready to fire when I say. Ah! She nodded. The Guardian focused on Reed now. It raised, its arm preparing a final strike. Now, Lila fired 1, 2, 3 plasma shots, right at the machine's neck. It looked her way for just a moment. Reed grabbed the beam, ran up a broken piece of wall like a ramp, and jumped. He drove the beam down into the Guardian's head. Crack. Electricity burst from its chest.
Ow, the light inside its mouth dimmed. The Guardian fell backwards
And didn't move again. Smoke rose from its body. Lila ran to Reed. You okay? She asked. He was breathing hard, bleeding from his arm, but smiling. Not bad for a rescue mission? Nova spoke again. The Guardian was blocking access to the inner chamber. You now have a path forward. Reed looked at the glowing ground where the Guardian had stood. A staircase was forming down. Deeper into the planet. Lila stepped back. That thing almost killed us. What's waiting down there? Reed checked his pistol. Only 1 charge left. He looked down the stairs. I don't know. But that's where the others are. Lila gave him a nod. And let's finish this. As they moved down the stairs, the air grew colder. The walls changed color from purple to deep blue. Symbols appeared on every surface. Reed touched one. It moved like liquid, Nova whispered. These are memory codes. The aliens store thoughts here. They're building something, Lila said. Like a library of pain. They feed off it, Reed added. Fear, loss, regret. Suddenly, the path ended. They stood before a huge door round, silver and breathing. On its surface were the faces of Reed's crew. Not real faces, just moving images, like holograms caught mid-scream. Then a voice spoke. But it wasn't Nova. It came from the door itself. You came too far. Human. You were meant to break, not fight. Reed stepped forward. Give them back. They are part of us now. Their fears are valuable. Their hopes are delicious. You're sick, Lila spat. No, we are perfect. We do not die. We do not forget. We learn. Reed raised the shard, the same purple crystal from the alien scout. The door hissed. Where did you get that? You left it behind? Reed said. Big mistake. He pressed the shard into a slot in the door. A shockwave hit the room. Boom. The walls screamed. The faces disappeared. The door began to open. Beyond the door was light blinding, white and endless. Nova spoke. We are entering the core mind. This is not just a place. It is a world built from memory, shaped by fear. Be careful. Nothing you see inside is real. But everything can still kill you. Reed looked at Lila. Time to bring them home. They stepped through the doorway. Into the mind of the enemy. Reed and Lila stepped into the light it was. Blinding at first, then silence. They were standing in a wide open field. No buildings, no machines, just soft green grass. A blue sky above, birds flying. A calm breeze. It looked like Earth, too perfect. Lila whispered, "This can't be real." "It's not," Reed replied. "This is the mind prison." They walked forward slowly. Everything was quiet. It's too quiet. No sound of the core. No more machines. It's peace. Reed felt uneasy. Where are the others? Lila asked. Suddenly, they heard laughter. Children laughing. They followed the sound and found something shocking. Marcus, their crew medic, sitting on a park bench. He was smiling. Two kids ran around him, giggling. Marcus. Reed shouted. Marcus? Looked up, but something was off. His eyes were blank, like he was watching something only he could see. Marcus, it's me, Reed said. Wake up. Marcus smiled. They're okay, Captain. I saved them. I saved them this time. Lila looked around. Who's he talking to? Reed turned to Nova. What is this? This is a fabricated memory loop. His biggest regret was losing children in a colony attack. The aliens gave him a perfect version of that day, a day where he saved them. Now he doesn't want to leave. Reed shook Marcus's shoulder. This isn't real. Marcus didn't react. He just kept smiling. Then suddenly the sky ripped open. Darkness poured. And like water, the two kids stopped running. Their faces twisted. Eyes turned black. Their mouths opened wide. Too wide, they screamed. Not like children, like monsters. Marcus looked up, still smiling, but tears rolled down his cheeks. I know it's not real, he whispered, but it's better than the truth. The fake world cracked. Glass shattered around them. Boom. They were back in the core inside a dark chamber filled with strange lights. Marcus collapsed into Reed's arms. He was awake now, breathing hard. You pulled me out, he said weakly. I didn't want to come back. We need you, Reed said. Everyone's still trapped. They moved forward together. 3 now. The path twisted again. This time it looked like the bridge of their ship, the Drifter 4. Only, it was destroyed, on fire. Alarms blaring, smoke filled the air. Not again, Lila said. A figure lay under the wreckage. It was Taylor, their engineer, pinned, screaming. Reed and Marcus rushed to help. It's the day the ship crashed, Lila said, her voice shaking. I remember now, Marcus whispered. Taylor blamed himself. They lifted the debris, or tried. It wouldn't move, Nova said. This is Taylor's guilt. His mind won't let him be saved. Then we need to talk to him, Reed said. He knelt beside Taylor. Hey, you're not trapped. This isn't real. Taylor looked at him, coughing. I let the shield fail. They boarded us. No, Reed said. You gave us a chance to escape. That's why I'm here now. Out. Don't deserve to leave, Taylor said. Suddenly, the fire froze. Everything stopped. A deep, whispering voice filled the room. You humans love pain. You wear it like armor. The walls shifted. Black hands reached out from the floor. Lila fired at them. Zap. Zap. Reed grabbed Taylor. This isn't about what you deserve. It's about the crew. We need you. Taylor's eyes cleared. Reed. The black hands tried to pull him down, but Reed held on. Don't let go, Reed shouted. Marcus pulled too. Together, they yanked Taylor free from the wreck. Crash. The false world exploded. They were back in the core chamber. Taylor was breathing heavily. You came for me, he said. Reed nodded. Always. Nova spoke again. You've recovered 3 minds, 4 remain, but the core is changing. It knows you're inside. Suddenly the walls turned red. Sirens wailed. The core was angry now. The floor split open. The stairway dropped down into pure darkness. Reed looked at the others. It's going to fight back now. Leela loaded her weapon. Let it try. They moved down together into the deepest part of the alien network. No more tricks. No more peace. Only darkness, only fear. The escape pod hit the ground hard. Crash. Dust and smoke filled the air. The door of the pod flew open with a loud hiss. Captain Reed Carter rolled out onto the ground. His arms burned. His head was bleeding. But he was alive. He looked up. The sky was green. Dark clouds moved fast, like smoke underwater. Trees towered above him, metal and wood twisted together. Some glowed with red light. The ground itself pulsed like it was breathing. This wasn't just a planet, it was alive. Status check, said weakly. Nova's voice answered from a small device on his wrist. Oxygen, 78%. Minor damage. Weapons. Working. Reed stood up holding his plasma pistol. I need to move.
Oh.
He looked around. The jungle was dense, but something in the distance stood out. A broken tower, smoking. Looked like a crash site, but not from his pod. He walked toward it, as Reed moved deeper into the alien jungle. Strange sounds followed him, hissing, clicking. Whispers, though no one was there. He raised his weapon. Then he saw it, a machine-dash beast. It was 10 feet tall, shaped like a dog but made of sharp black metal. Its eyes glowed blue. Tubes ran across its back. It sniffed the air, then turned. To Reed it growled. Don't do it, Reed, whispered. The beast jumped. Zap. Reed fired fast. The blast hit the machine's chest. It exploded in sparks. The jungle went quiet again. Nova spoke. That was a sentinel. Scout class, you're getting close. Close to what? Reed asked. To a restricted zone. Reed reached the broken tower. It wasn't a tower at all. It was part of a ship. A small alien shuttle destroyed. Inside, he found something unexpected. A body, but not human. The alien was tall, skinny, with long arms and silver skin. Its face was half covered by a black helmet. It had strange armor. Glowing weakly, the alien was still alive. Barely it coughed. Its voice was deep, full of pain. You should not be here. Reed pointed his gun. Where's my crew? The alien laughed weakly. Humans. Always asking, always fighting. Answer me. They are in the core zone. But you will not reach it. Why not? They will. Use your mind. The others. Break it. Turn it against you. Reed stepped closer. What do you mean, turn it against me? The alien whispered. Your mind? Your fears, your memories, they will become your prison. Then the alien stopped breathing. Dead. Reed searched the body, found a small crystal, purple. It glowed softly in his hand. Nova said, That is an alien data shard. Can try to read. Do it. As Nova worked, Reed moved on. He was getting closer. The trees were darker here. The air was heavy. Every step felt harder. He stopped when he saw something terrifying. 12 metal poles stood in a circle. On top of each pole, a badge. Human crew badges his crew, one by one. Each badge had a name. Lila, Doc, Marcus, even Taylor, the engineer. Blood was dried on 2 of them. Reed's jaw tightened. This was a message. a warning or a trophy display. Either way, it made one thing clear. The aliens were not just invaders, they were hunters, and they thought humans were prey. Reed pulled the badges down, one by one. He stored them in his pocket. He wasn't leaving without his team. Suddenly Nova beeped. I have decoded part of the data shard. Go on, Reed said. The core zone is built around a massive neural system. The aliens use it to control dreams, fears, and memories. It powers their mind prison. Your crew is still alive, but trapped inside their own minds. Reed looked out into the jungle. How do I get to the core? There's a transport gate nearby, Nova said. Half machine, half teleportation. If we activate it, we can reach the core zone instantly. Reed nodded. Show me. 15 minutes later, Reed reached a strange field. In the middle stood a giant ring, like a portal frame. It was dead, rusted. Vines covered the surface. But underneath, the ring was humming softly. This is it? Reed asked. Yes, said Nova. But we must power it with the alien shard. Reed placed the purple shard into a slot on the side. The ring lit up. Wooed purple energy filled the center. The portal was open. But just before Reed stepped in, something jumped from the trees. An alien scout, alive, fast, armed. It tackled him to the ground. They fought hard. Reed punched, kicked, dodged. The scout cut his shoulder with a plasma blade. Reed grabbed his pistol and shot the alien point blank. Boom, the alien fell. Dead Reed stood, bleeding. The portal was still glowing. He looked into the swirling light. Time to go deeper. Time to get his crew back. Time to face the mind prison. Captain Reed Carter stepped into the portal. The light swallowed him. His body felt like it was floating and falling at the same time. No sound, no time. Just a cold whisper in his ears. Then flash, he landed hard on his knees. The air was different, still but heavy. The sky was black, not night, just empty. Around him, strange buildings rose into the sky, made of glass and muscle, metal, and light. They moved slightly, as if breathing. There were no doors, no windows, only walls that watched him. Nova spoke through the wrist device. Welcome to the core zone. Reed stood up. Dizzy, I don't like it here. Shouldn't, said Nova. This place is built from thought. It's part real, part memory, part fear. Reed looked around. The path ahead looked like metal, but felt like bone under. His boots, strange symbol, glowed in the air. The same eye he had seen before. Is my crew here? He asked. Yes, Nova said. But they are not free. They're trapped in something the aliens call the mind spiral. It's a mental prison. Their memories have been twisted. They don't know what's real anymore. Reed took a step forward. Then I'll break the prison. As he moved deeper into the core zone, things began to change. At first, it looked like a ship hallway. Familiar, clean. Then, he saw something that made him stop. His old cabin from Earth. Exactly how he remembered it. The photo on the desk. Ah, yes. Father's jacket on the chair. A baseball from when he was a kid. He stepped inside. Everything felt real. The smell, the warmth, the sound of wind through the window. Then he heard it. A voice read. He turned. His mother was standing in the doorway, smiling, alive, but she had been dead. For 10 years, his hand shook. You're not real, he whispered. She stepped forward. I missed you. Why did you leave Earth? He took a step. Back. Come back home, son. Stay here. Reed raised his pistol. No, you're not her. This is a trick. The figure's face changed. The smile faded. Then the skin melted, revealing a black shadow underneath. The shadow hissed and flew. At him! Zap. Reed shot it midair. Illusion shattered. He was back in the core. Nova's voice returned. They're testing you now, trying to use your emotions. Reed breathed hard. I'm fine. Keep going. He walked through strange paths, past floating statues and burning mirrors. The farther he went, the more real memories he saw. Twisted at one point, he heard someone screaming. He followed the sound through a glowing doorway. He entered a new chamber. It was dark. A single light above, and in the middle Leela, tied to a chair, eyes closed, face pale. He ran to her. "Leela, it's me." He shook her. Nothing. Nova spoke. "She's inside the spiral. You can't pull her out by force. Have to go in." "What does that mean?" "You must connect your mind to hers." "Is that safe?" "No." Reed looked at Lila. He nodded. "Do it." Nova activated the neural link. A small spike came out of Reed's wrist device and connected to Leela's neck. Suddenly, everything changed. He wasn't in the core zone anymore. He was in a burning spaceship. Alarms were screaming. Fire everywhere. Lila stood in the corner, terrified. "Lila," he shouted. She looked at him, red. "No, you're dead. You died in the crash. This is all my fault." "No, listen to me. They're messing with your mind. I left you behind," she cried. "I heard your screams and I ran. I should have died too, Leela. Look at me." He grabbed her shoulders. "I'm alive. You're alive. But we're inside a trap. We have to fight it." Fire grew higher. "The walls started to crack, Lila," he shouted. She blinked. Her eyes cleared for a second. "Reed," he nodded. "Yes, come back," she gasped. The fire froze. Fake world cracked like glass. Shatter. They were back in the core zone. She fell into his arms. "It wasn't real," she whispered. "Saw so much I thought I lost you." "You didn't," he said. "But we have to move. The others are still trapped." Nova spoke. "One free. 6 remain. Time is short. The core is aware of you now." Suddenly, the ground shook. Something was coming. A large figure walked out of the shadows. 10 feet tall, metal arms. A face with no eyes, just a glowing mouth, Nova warned. "Guardian class, pure offense, no emotion, no mercy." Lila picked up a weapon from the ground. "Then we fight." Reed nodded. Together. The alien raised its arms, ready to attack. The staircase was cold. Not just cold like ice. It felt alive.
Alive.
Like it didn't want them there. Reed, Lila, Marcus.
Amateurs.
And Taylor stepped carefully down into the dark. Behind them, the upper chambers began to close, sealing off the way back. Nova spoke quietly. "This is the deep core. If you die here, your mind will stay here. Forever." Reed didn't flinch. "We're not dying. We're finishing this." They entered a vast chamber. It was like being inside a brain, giant nerve-like. Cables pulsed with light. Walls dripped with glowing blue liquid. Strange symbols floated in the air like smoke in the center of the room. A sphere, black, spinning, surrounded by 6 floating platforms. Each platform held a sleeping figure. 6 crew members, still trapped, still dreaming. But above the sphere, something else. A shape, a creature, not metal, not flesh. Both its body shifted, like liquid. Its face was made of pieces from other people, copied memories. It had Lila's mouth, Marcus's eyes. Reed's voice. It turned to face them. "You should have stayed lost," it said. Reed raised his gun. "You're the core. I am the mind architect. I design pain. I build prisons. And you broke my walls." The chamber shook. Tentacles shot down from the ceiling. The core was attacking. Reed shouted, "Take cover." They split up. Lila and Marcus fired at the tentacles, keeping them back. Taylor rushed to the platforms. "We have to wake them up before. The core destroys everything." Reed joined him, pressing the shard device into the first sleeper's chest. "Come on, Nova, connect us." Linking mind now. Prepare for mental entry. Reed found himself inside a black hallway. Endless, silent. In front of him was Commander Ala, one of the trapped crew. She sat on the floor crying. "What did you see?" Reed asked her gently. She looked up, shaking. "I saw Earth. It's burning. I was alone. I couldn't stop it." "You didn't fail. They tricked you." "No, I let them die." Reed held out his hand. "You're not alone now. come back. Reached out, boom. The hallway exploded. Reed's eyes opened in the real world. Allah gasped and sat up. One crew member saved, but the core was furious now. The architect screamed, its body expanding. Tentacles lashed out. One hit Marcus in the side, throwing him across the room. "Marcus," Lila shouted. He got up, coughing. "Fine, keep going." Taylor activated the next platform. Inside this memory, a pilot was reliving a crash. Over and over, Reed reached in again, pulled him out. 2 more, then 3, then 5. Each one harder than the last. The core was now changing shape, turning into a massive face, made of pain, memories, and voices. It began pulling at reality. Itself, the walls cracked. The floor became unstable. Only one crew member left. Dr. Ven Reed connected to him, inside. He saw a version of himself standing over Ven, shouting, blaming him, rejecting him. "It wasn't real. Ven, that's not me. I would never say those things, but I believe them," Ven whispered. "I thought I failed you all." Reed grabbed his shoulder. "You didn't. You fought with us. You stayed loyal. Now come back." Ven nodded. His image cleared. Flash, back in the real world, all crew were awake. All 7, they stood. Still weak but alive. Reed turned to the architect. "You lost. You think this is over?" It growled. "You are inside me. This place is me. You can never leave." Reed looked at Taylor. "Can we overload the mind link?" Taylor checked his device. "We combine all 7. Neural chips. It might fry the core system. But we'll only get one shot." "Do it," Reed said. "Nova, prepare for link merge. Warning, this could damage your minds permanently." Lila looked at him. "We didn't come this far to run." The crew gathered. Each touched the black sphere. Taylor activated the pulse. A bright surge of energy shot through the chamber. The architect screamed. Its body split. The room began falling apart. Boom. White light exploded from the core. Reed felt himself being pulled up through layers of memory pain. Illusion, then dash silence. He opened his eyes. They were back on the surface of the alien planet. The sky was clear, the core gone. The ground beneath them had cracked open and was cooling like lava. The mind prison had collapsed. Everyone was alive. Everyone. Free. Reed stood, blinking at the sun. "We took back our minds," he said quietly. Marcus smiled and broke theirs. But then, Nova spoke one last time. "Core system destroyed. Mind signals offline, but one signal remains." Reed frowned. "From where?" "Inside the planet. Deep. Moving." Lila asked, "What is it?" Nova answered, "Not a memory, not a machine. Something older." Ground still smoked. The core was gone, but Reed Carter felt no peace. He stood with his crew on a broken cliff, staring at the crater where the mind prison once lived. The planet looked quiet. Now too quiet. Then the tremor started. Boom, 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 like footsteps. But not from above, from below. Nova's voice crackled with static. "Unknown structure is rising. Beneath the surface, it is alive." Reed looked at Lila. "You feel that?" She nodded. "Something's waking up." Suddenly the ground, a head split apart. Out of the earth came a massive tower, black as night, rising fast, surrounded by clouds of energy. Like a spine piercing the sky. From deep below a voice echoed, not through ears, but through their minds.
How?
"You broke the mind. Now face the heart." Reed gritted his teeth. "The architect was never the real leader," Correct said. "Nova, it was only the jailer. The true being lives beneath, the one who feeds on fear." The crew watched in horror as the tower opened like a flower. Inside was a creature older than machines. Not made by science, but by hate and hunger. It had no shape. It was the planet. It looked at them. "You brought pain here? You broke the system? You stole what was mine?" Reed stepped forward, eyes hard. "No, you took my crew. You locked their minds. You turned memories into weapons. He raised his weapon, but it melted in his hand. The air twisted. "You can't fight a planet," Taylor said. Reed shook his head. "We're not fighting, we're taking." He turned to Nova. "Can you link me to the central core of this world, its power source? If I do, you may not survive. I don't care." The others tried to stop him, but Reed stared at them. "I didn't come to escape," he said. "I came to end this. For everyone they've taken, place the last remaining shard, glowing purple, into Nova's terminal." The sky exploded. With light, Reed's mind dropped into darkness vast and deep. But this time, he didn't fall into a trap. He took control. He stood in a space of stars and shadow. Before him stood the ancient creature, now raw. Shaking, afraid. "You can't hold me." Reed clenched his fists. "I'm not holding you," he said. "I'm rewriting you." Flashes of memory hit the creature like lightning, the crew standing together. Ark is saving lives. Taylor building the ships. Shield. Lila refusing to give up. Reed making a promise. "I will bring you all home." These were not fears. They were strengths. The creature screamed. Its power cracked outside. The planet began to fall apart. The black towers shattered. The ground broke into giant pieces. Leela shouted, "Reed, come back." Nova buzzed. "Captain!" Carter's mind is in full override. He is replacing the core's root system. Suddenly, a wave of light shot out from the tower remains. The storm clouds broke, and from the center of the crater, Reed emerged, alive, glowing with energy. His eyes burned with power, but his voice was still his own. The ground beneath their feet became stable. The machines died. The core was quiet. Nova spoke. Planetary system reset complete. Mind prison. Erased. Core consciousness. Deleted. Lila looked at Reed. "You did it?" He looked around. "Dud. We did." 1 week later, the crew stood inside their repaired ship, Drifter, for orbiting the now silent planet below them. The world once built on fear was now dark. Empty. They named it Nullterra, the dead world. A warning to others. Reed stared out the window. Lila asked, "What now?" He thought for a moment, then smiled. "We go find the next one like it, and shut it down." Final voiceover for YouTube, ending optional. They took his crew, so he took their world. But the universe is still full of shadows. Captain. Reed Carter isn't done yet. He just started a war the stars will never forget. The screen fades to black. Title, HFY Sci-Fi, Season 1 complete text. Subscribe for Season 2, The War Beyond Memory.